All right, good morning, everyone. We're going to start the second half of our class. What we're going to be doing now is talking about group work. So what have you studied so far about group work? What do you know about group work? Okay, group work. Any ideas about what group work is or? Yep.
Yes, group work is a kind of activities that involve at least three students together work together at a time.
Okay, good. So students work together. Thanks. We kind of focus on a couple different types of work. There's another one too that we maybe have talked more about. Pair work, right? So what's pair work? Okay, good. So two students work together. Okay, so group work is more than one, students working together. More than one, I should say, probably about three or more. Pair work is two, students working together. And then we have what's called, when one person works by themselves, what is that called? Good, very good, individual. Individual work. So you need to know how to use each one of these strategies effectively. And because we don't have a large group in here, we're going to focus more on pair work for this activity today, okay? Some of you might be doing some individual work, but the idea is this activity that I'm going to show you and we're going to be practicing today is supposed to be a group work idea. So when might be the best time to use group work in your class? When might be the best time? Any ideas? A lot of times in classes we use individual work and we use pair work because our classrooms have so many students and you can't walk through and get to all the students. It's not easy to move the tables, okay? So group work sometimes can be hard because to do group work, you might have to move people around. So the big thing with group work is you need to have time, okay? So time is really important when you're using these types of activities in your class. You need time to make them, right? And you need the time to do them. So Dara was teaching for like 3 hours, right? In the afternoon. That would be a good time to use group work, right? Because he had a lot of time and maybe too much time, and then the students just aren't focused during that time. So today's activity is based on if you have a 1 or 2 hour block of time that you can use to do the activity. Now we don't have that much time today, so I don't expect you to finish all of the activities. I just want you to try them, okay? Once you do this type of activity in your class, so for example, if you know you always have Fridays, 2 to 3 hours in English, you can design one of these group work activities during that time. Today's group work is also called what's called a station or center activity. Now this idea was started by a lot of elementary teachers or primary teachers. But I found that that is a strategy we can also use for 7, 8, and 9 students as well. Okay? Because 7, 8, and 9, they still need to move around, and so this activity also works for them. This activity also kind of came about because teachers wanted time to work with one group of students on some sort of skill. Most of the time that was reading, but they needed the other students doing something so the teacher could work with one group specifically on that reading. So that's how this came about, why to do this sort of activity. Okay. So for example, if you have a student and you really want some time, extra time to work with them, doing this kind of group work might be a good idea for you. Maybe you have some lower students that need one-on-one instruction or a little extra time to catch up. You can try this out. Okay. It's also fun, it's motivating, and they'll learn more about a topic. Okay. So for today's activity, we had some different stations. The first station, and I will provide my phone for you if you don't have a phone, is on a topic. And so our topic for today is called Eco-Village. Now, I don't expect you to know that word, Eco-Village, but after today's activities, we're going to talk about what is an Eco-Village. So we're going to be learning what is an Eco-Village. Eco-Village? What is that, right? So this is the first one. You're going to watch a video. After you watch the video, you write on the Post-it note. What do you think it is? Each group, okay? Because we have such small groups, and that won't take you that long, the other activity that you're going to be doing in this group is a word puzzle to find some vocabulary words and share this, do this together. So each time we switch, each one gets a new one. Okay? Don't Dara take one, she takes one, like that. You don't want to do that, okay? So just one per group. The next group, what they're going to be doing, they're back here, is they are reading the story about an eco-village and answering one sheet again, some questions. And then there's some vocabulary words you need to translate into Khmer. And maybe if you have time, write some sentences. Okay? But you probably will not have time to do all of those activities. But make sure to take a look at that. Okay? As I said, usually these would each be separate groups, but we have such small groups that we're going to give you a little bit longer time in the groups to do the activities today. The next group back here, this is going to be a activity where you draw an eco-village. What does an eco-village look like? Okay? You're going to draw a picture of it, and there's an idea here to help you. Okay? Now that's a little bit harder for the people that first start out to draw their eco-village, but I think you can maybe imagine from the picture what it would look like. All right? So now we have to figure out a way to get in our groups so that we work with different people. And I don't know how many of you have ever used the counting off method before, but it's a good way to practice counting, right? And so we're going to count off by threes, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need the threes all to go here. So you're going to move back here if you're a 3. Okay. If you're a 1, you're up there. And if you're a 2, you're here. You're going to move by your activity. All right. So what you're going to need a pencil. You're going to need one pencil. You got a pen, that's fine. Pen or a pencil. Okay. watch the video too, okay? And then one you can do the video. Okay, so your group is just kind of looking at this picture. Maybe you can do a okay, that's your desk, right? So you can draw this in your eye. So you're going to draw yeah. People would like not so it's additional houses are actually so that's great. So that's all you're going to do. Yep. Yep. 3 houses. So you draw your house. You draw your house. I go inside. Okay? But not the rich, fancy house, right? Okay, so here, yes, don't think only one sheet per group. Okay. So, maybe if someone wants to read this, read it out loud, and you can answer the questions, right? And then maybe one person here. This words here, please write my word. Write my word next to it. Yeah, on that sheet. Okay? So if that's easier for you, you can do that, and then read the story. Okay? Okay, so you'll have about, I think we have about 5 minutes today in each group, not much time, but that way you can see what each group will be doing, okay? And then you have to go back to the other one to watch it. And this one might be the easiest word. Just answer those words. So if you just do that one might be easier. Okay? So, and you can use your phone so it will recycle and kind of my word for it. Okay? Okay, so then on this post-it note, about. Nice. Okay, you have about 3 minutes in your groups to kind of finish up, and then we're going to switch. Not really. Stick with forwards. Okay, you have about 2 minutes to try and finish up. And as I said, you're not going to have time to do the whole activity today. The activity is just supposed to show you how this group approach works. You can add some color if you want to, the markers, if you want to add color to your house. Okay? Or draw with the markers. You don't have to. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute and we need to switch. All right, try to finish up where you're at. What I'd like you to do now, we're going to switch, but I need you to bring your items with you, okay? So you're going to take this post-it note and put it on here, and you're going to move back to that back table, sorry. And then the people drawing their houses, come up here with your house, okay? So bring your houses with you up here. You're going to come over here now, so it's okay, take those papers with you. It's all right not to finish, just leave that one here. And then come here, over here, right? And you're going to be drawing an eco house now, all right? So the house group, even if you're not done, bring your houses over there because you can continue drawing, all right? So that table's a little bit cleaner if you want to sit on this table, okay? So you're going there, draw a house, get a paper over there. So here are your 2 activities. You read the story, right? Read the story, answer the questions, This you translate from this to time to English to time, and this you can write sentences if you have time. But it's a lot, so I don't expect you to get it all done. All right? Okay, bring your houses up here to the front. So the house group, come on up. Okay, so here's the videos. We're gonna watch this, and then you answer the questions, and you can work on this and your houses all at the same time. Okay? So we're just gonna watch the video. May have to hold it. Okay. So you are drawing an eco house. Eco house is like a traditional house in Cambodia, but no, it's good for the environment. So not a roof house. Just so you're drawing a picture of a natural house on a paper, and that will be it. And if you want to use the markers, you can use the markers. And then after washing it, erase. Okay, so you have about 5 minutes again, and then we're going to switch. Almost you guys have a good group strategy. I see one person's doing each. Nice job. Strategy to do it. So that's your example picture. It helps you think about this one would be like a house, right? So that's what eco village. You don't like drawing. Maybe you don't like to draw. Oh, okay, so after watching that, what do you think that people would do? If you need to watch, okay, you can watch the other video too. Okay, so this video is playing, so after that video, we're gonna switch. Are you guys done?
Yes.
Okay. So, maybe it didn't work, right? That video didn't work, but they stopped too. Okay, so what we're gonna do, just to save time, because we don't have much time, I don't wanna go over today. You need to come with your houses and you're gonna come over to the last group. So we're gonna switch. Again, if you have extra time on the next one, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Good. So I'm going to take this, and then you're going to do the next group. So here, after that. This is your ruler. This is your houses. Okay? Alright, so this group, you're going to go over here, and you're going to draw some houses. You can bring your sheets with you. Leave that one, yep. Okay, so girls, you're going to come back here, and you're going to read this story. And this one, you take the word. If you don't know any English, use your phone, translate it to your mind, so you know the I word. So then you read this, okay? But you might not have time to do it all, so don't worry. All right, so you need to, even if you're not done with your houses, you can finish drawing over there. And you're going to draw an eco house now.
Eco house.
Okay? And you can use the markers to help you, okay, if you want. Pencils, if you have your own pencil, then there's this one paper here with markers. So everybody can draw a house if you like, okay? Is this your ruler, please? This ruler, please. Okay, so what you're going to do is the puzzle together. Finish drawing your houses. And also, we're going to watch this video. We're going to watch this video and you write here, what do you think an eco house is? Okay? So here's the video. Watch it so everyone can see it. Does anyone here have a picture they want to enter the eco house like competition? Do you want to enter your house in competition? Your drawing? Or actually, or just take, can I take your pictures and put them up there? What you have so far? Okay. Do you have a house? Just two houses? Of this house? You, yes. We'll see. Take care. Okay, you have about 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes to try and finish up. So after watching this, what do you think an eco house would be? And what is this called here? Environment, outdoors, nature. So here, eco village is nature, environment, fresh environment. So you're not throwing out a house, you're just having Dara draw a competition. And he'll win. He'll win if he does all the work. Okay, 2 minutes, because I don't want to go over time. All right, 1 minute to kind of finish up what you're doing. If anybody else has a house they want to enter our competition, they can do that. Do you have a eco house, eco picture? Eco house. Eco house. They want to enter the picture. Eco house. You want to enter the competition? Put your picture up there. There, just put your picture up there like that. Okay? Because you have a house. They don't have a house yet. Theirs. Oh, nice. Okay, so let's stop doing what you're doing right now, and let's kind of talk about this activity. How are you feeling? How's your feeling when you're doing this activity? Fun. Fun, right? How are you feeling? I see a lot of you look very relaxed, right? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, right? And that's really important for your students too. I see everybody working. Even when I tell you to stop, you're still working, right? So that's what's really good about this type of activity, okay? Also, very nice to see, even this group right now, they are picking out, your group did that first, each group picked out something they liked, okay? So each one of us, when we're learning, we learn differently. And so some of us learn things or like things better when we're learning. But all of this information should tell us about an eco-village. Okay? All right, so the girls back there, don't worry about the questions. Don't worry anymore. Okay, so my last question is, don't worry so much about the questions. This is our most important one. And that's what you wrote on, here. Hello. I'm teaching right now. Yeah. Okay, bye. Okay, so eco-village, right? What is an eco-village? We didn't give you the definition.
Yes.
But this is sort of what we call backwards learning. Backwards by design. I'm not giving you the answer. I didn't tell you the answer. You have to figure it out yourself. So what is an eco-village? What is that eco-village? Darren, what's an eco-village, do you think?
My definition that I watched the video.
Okay.
So eco-village is a village where provides plenty of natural places for the both national and international.
Okay.
The work on their plant and also fish in the water for their living and they spend the rest of the time serving the visitor. Very good. Okay, so it's in nature, has international.
How about your group? Gina, what did you say an eco-village was?
Yes, teacher, eco-village is a village which most with natural food, traditional house, a lake, fresh air, and fresh environment.
Okay, good. How about your group? What did you see? So you're gonna, can someone read that?
Environment, outdoor.
Okay, so it's a natural, in the nature, place outdoors, okay? And so why do you think these places are important for us in Cambodia? Okay, just put the papers down for now, pens down, look up. Okay, put your pens down, look up, you can do it later. Just don't worry for right now. Okay. Why are eco-villages important for Cambodia? Why do you think?
It attracts the tourists.
Yeah, it attracts the tourists. Do you like those places yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that we keep some nature and we don't bulldoze everything down and put a big building up, because a lot of people like the nature and they like the traditional Cambodian experience, and a lot of the people here do too as well. Okay? Now I found this topic was really good because everybody in Cambodia likes this topic so far. Number one, because it's about Cambodia, right? And so that has a lot of student interest as well. Okay? Now the last thing we're going to do before we kind of finish for today is we are going to have a little contest with our eco houses that people drew. Okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give everyone a post-it note. Did you want to enter the contest? Is there any more houses to enter the contest? Well, that's good. Yours probably is the best. Any more houses? All right, so what I'm going to do is give everyone a post-it note, and then you come up and you put your post-it note next to the one you think is the winner. Okay? All right, so each one of you gets a post-it note. Put that by the house you like the most. Oh, that's good. That's good. Don't erase it. We have to add one more house. You have a house? Anyone else? Okay. So come and put your post-it note by the one you like. You just stick it like this. You're going to come up and say, I like this one. Okay? So come up and stick that up there. Choose the one you like. All right, come on up and put up your post-it notes. Okay? Come on up.
Eco village should have color. No color is not eco.
Which one do you like?
Morning is good.
All right, yeah. See, I would do that too. If it's my group, I'm going to choose mine, right? All right, maybe we'll have a tie. How about any of these? We have 3 more people. Come on up. I'll be the judge. Oh, everybody picks 3. So these are our top winners from each of the groups. Okay? So they all look really nice. There's some nature, some trees, some water. And so I'm going to say everybody's a winner today. All right? So all the groups tied. So everybody gets 1 for each group. Okay? Everybody gets 1 for each group. Okay, so as I said, look at you. You're all still wanting to learn. And so your students will feel this way too if you do this sort of activity, right? So just a reminder again, what is this called? What we're doing today, what's it called? Group work. What else might it be called? Group work, and when we move from one area to the next,
Switch.
okay, we switch the groups, and it's called either stations or centers, okay? But it's the big focus is in group work. This is a group work activity. And I think that is it for today. All right. Thank you for enjoying the class. Right. Okay.